Today's sculpt is all about your core. We're going to be doing lots of different plank variations with a gut reset twist. So if you've got your Pilates ball, grab onto it now. If you don't have one of these, no worries. You can do the whole class without. You'll just want to skip the gut massage portion at the end. We'll start on hands and knees, taking that ball in between the thighs, hands underneath shoulders, knees underneath the hips. We'll start with an extension of the spine, find a nice big inhale, and then take it to the side bending through one side of the waist. Start to round up nose to navel, find a side bend on the other side of the waist, and then meet me back in that extension. We'll stay in this direction, drawing these spine circles, really just starting to mobilize the entire gut and work out any alignment issues before we jump into our planks. Feeling tall on the hands, on the arms to prep for those planks. We'll switch over to the other direction, finding your side bend, rounding up, exhale. Inhale, lengthen through the abdominals. We'll do 2 more here. Press, press, press. Inhale, lengthen. Last one. And then find your extension. We'll do one last round up, nose towards navel, and then meet me in between those two shapes. Nice flat back. I want you to tuck the toes under, sink the chest towards the mat, and then press away. Sink the chest, press away. You've got a 1% bend in those elbows, but they're not bending as you sink the chest. It's just coming from the shoulder blades. I want you to start to feel those muscles between the shoulder blades start to light up, long at the back of your neck. 2 more. Building some support in the upper body before we jump in. Last one. Now again, in between those two shapes, shoulder blades are flush on the ribs. We'll start to hug in on the ball and then release. Okay, so we're not really moving here. You'll just feel the inner thigh connection as you pull in on that ball, and feel how the hip bones come towards one another as you hug in, and then they glide out as you release. Okay, you can imagine a wide belt around the low abdominals. Exhaling, cinching that belt as you pull in, inhaling as you release. We'll just do one more until we add on. You can always come back to this. Really good deep core work. The next time you pull in, press down through the toes, down through the hands, hover the knees a few inches, and then release as you drop them back to the mat. So we exhale, cinch that ball, cinch that belt, and then release. And lower. So everything comes together. It's like you've got a corset around the torso. Not only are we starting to build some support for our planks, we're also stimulating the gut by finding these deep abdominal muscles, hugging in on your organs, in on your intestines. 2 more. Find that breath. Last one. We'll pause in this knee hover. Now take the knees to one side and then the other. Chest stays squared off as you find a rotation from the belly button down. It's really coming from the spine, from the ribs, but the hips go one way and then the other. Let's add on, the hips go one way, shift the weight back slightly, take the shoulders back over the wrists, take them over to the other side. Shift it back. I can already feel my digestion moving all the way up into my esophagus, okay? So just know that that's normal. For these gut reset classes, I recommend not eating for probably 1 or 2 hours before, 2 to be safe. And you can totally still do it, but it just won't feel very good. 1 more each side, finding that deep rotation. Last one. Back to center, drop those knees, untuck the toes, sit the bum down and back, big reach out through the hands, and slowly start to roll forward through the spine, finding yourself back in that quadruped, tucking the toes under, cinch that belt, hover the knees. Now get heavy in the right hand, left hand comes to the hip. You're at a slight twist here, and then take the knees even more to the left, twist open and hinge back, and then come back to center. So you're already at a slight rotation, and then you're deepening that rotation and finding that shift, that glide of the hips towards the heels. Keeping that bottom shoulder away from the ear. You can always have this left hand on the mat for a little more support, but just keeping it a bit lighter. Okay, so that's an option here. Whew, try to bring it back close as you can towards center. There's an insane rooster outside of my studio right now. I wonder if you guys can hear it. Let's do one more. Beautiful. And then tap that bum down. We'll take that ball out of the thighs, walk it on down to the right forearm for me. And we'll take right leg forward, left leg behind. I want you to take that ball on the lower abdominals, a little bit of tension between the ball and the abdominals, but not too much. Tall on this bottom forearm, press down through it, down through that back heel, lift the hips, and then lower. So the purpose of the ball here is not massage, it's to remind yourself about where you're lifting from. Long through the neck. So you cinch that belt, use low abdominals to help lift you into this plank. They lift the hips, and then lower down. Yes. Inhale, release. It's just as important to release that belt as it is to find that engagement. So I want you to give yourself that moment. And then you can deepen that connection. 2 more. We're slightly open towards the ceiling here. Last one, you'll hold it up there. Hold. Now take this ball on the floor, finding a rotation, bend through the legs, shift towards the heels, and then reach forward. Bend through the legs. Big rotation here. This time feeling like it's coming from the belly button up. And I know lots of upper body support in these planks. 2 more. You got it. We have one last layer here, okay? You can always stay with a previous progression. Okay, flex through that right foot, and then left leg, knee comes towards that left elbow, okay? This is advanced. You really need to kind of shift your weight to press into that ball, press into the knife edge of the right foot, using low abdominals to pull that leg from behind you forward without rounding through the lower back. So we're still in neutral. Can we do 2 more here? I know. I'm with you. Woo. Last one. And then lower all the way down. We'll come into our mermaid and then reach that right arm up and over. Big release for that supporting side waist. Big inhale, and then thread it. All right, coming back to the other side. I'm gonna flip around so you can see me. We'll take that ball back between the thighs, set it on back into your child's pose, and then start to roll forward through the spine. Find that flat back shape, hands under shoulders, knees under hips. Tuck those toes under. Find that cinch of the belt, knees hover, pause, hold. Shift your weight slightly to the left. Right hand is free to come on the hip. You're slightly twisted. I want you to twist even more. Open that chest with the hips. Shift the hips towards the heels. And then bring it back. This is the challenging part. This is where you're like, oh gosh, I can really feel that sensation increase on the obliques. Okay, you're pressing out of that bottom palm. And again, option to have the right hand or the fingertips even on the mat for a little more support. Let's do 3 more. Ooh, spicy. Last 2, hips towards heels. Last one. And then sit those hips down in space. Grab that ball, walk it on down to the left forearm, left leg forward, right leg back. Ball comes on the abdomen. Okay, we're tall out of that bottom forearm. Press down into it, down into that right back heel. Lift the hips and then lower down. Again, checking in on where this lift is coming from here. Okay, feeling how that ball helps you to just connect a little bit more deeply into the low abdominals. So they're not pressing out into the ball to do the lift. You're still finding that cinch of the belt. The ball is just there to kind of remind you, like, this is where I want you to feel the lift from. Can we do one more here? Pause and hold. Ball comes to the floor, finding a deep rotation, and then we're going to bend through the legs deeply and then reach it back out. Okay? Shift and reach. I want you to feel that cinch of the belt as you shift back over that elbow. Inhale. Exhale. 2 more. Woo! Lots of upper body support today. I know, we're not here forever. Quick class. Holding it here. Shift your weight into that ball, into that left foot. Right leg is free. Knee towards the elbow. And then open up through the hip. Take it back. So if this one's feeling a little too advanced today, you can always, you could drop the hip and take this here and find it. You could also stay up in the plank, find a pulse, or continue with the previous progression. There's a few different options. But really think about that weight shift forward so that that back leg can become free. Just 2 more. I know I'm talking to distract you. Last one with control for me. And lower. Bum lowers to the mat. Let's find that Z shape. Lift that left arm up and over. Should feel really nice to release there. Big inhale. And then thread it under. Ooh. And then we'll come back.